who that he knew that would make a page of him. He would always say, if it's not me, I don't care if it's somebody from here. He didn't allow that. But people that was immediate to him that could get like images, like you know how when we see him on the boat or see him in the store, we'll record him and be like, yeah, look at Joe and Charles. Well, they didn't. Joe made sure that the sister, the brother, the mama didn't make a page, because you can't find his mom. You can see her on Facebook, but I mean, my God, she haven't posted since her birthday. But other than that, you don't. Why? Tell me why. Let me ask you, ladies. Have any of you ever encountered any of Rolanda's family on TikTok other than his sister?
No, and that's what I was going to ask. Like, why does he not show when they be on live? They just show them. Yeah. They don't show the family. They don't show people having fun. No. They don't show the kids playing. It just be on them. But you know what? Yes. What you're saying explains a lot. It explains a lot, man.
Yes. Joe paid them. Joe paid them good. Joe not only at first had this money from TikTok, of course, he reminds us all the time that before TikTok, I had money. Yeah, the PPP money that you collected that you also didn't want. No, I'm sorry for saying that, but you got to know the timeline to understand how Joe had money when he came back from Cleveland, Ohio. He had Darrell Stevens, the ex, in a burial. He had him in a life insurance policy.
Miss Safari. Don't talk about that. I do know about the FBI investigation about what you just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And tap the screen, guys, because my live is glitching, and we all know when my live starts glitching, what they doing. So let's tap the screen, because we know they up in here doing the fool. So we have to save the live to keep the conversation going. They in here, so let's tap the screen, because my screen just glitched. And when my screen glitches like that, they in here doing the fool.
But what I'm going to tell you is you didn't lie on anything. You're telling the 1,000,000% truth. But there's an active investigation. Don't talk about it.
Oh, okay. I know now. I'm trying to write down.
What happened?
No, she's here. It's her connection is a little. You can tell that her little bars are down.
So before she says something, if we all remember in my live and in Hillary's live when we had Carlos in a live, y'all remember Carlos saying that Joe and them is taking care of everybody, paying everybody? Yeah. I never knew what that meant, but Safari just confirmed what that meant. And I also wanted to ask Safari, I might have missed it. Did she ever explain how they met, and was Joe taking care of Rolanda's father? Okay, I wasn't here.
Okay, here she goes. She can reiterate it, but she did say that Joe was G'ing, because we're not going to say the word, but he was G'ing Rolanda's at 16, 17 years old.
Okay. I wasn't here for that.
That's what she said. He was G'ing him from 16 to 17.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Pedo.
It makes sense. I think y'all remember when I said that. Okay, we're gonna say rooming.
That's what that
rooming.
When I was saying that me and Charles had talked on the phone, and that's when Charles was coming back telling me like what Joe was saying, like, oh, you're talking to those people that don't like us. And I'm trying to explain to Charles, I don't think people on the internet dislike you. I said they dislike like Joe Netta. But then that's when I realized that Joe Netta was manipulating Charles and trying to get in Charles's ear about me, because I guess Charles thought so highly of me. So now it's like I got to turn him against her. So I see the manipulation tactic that Safari is saying that Joe uses.
Well, this has been my brain. My brain is it all makes sense now, and there's a lot of stuff that we already been saying, and we've been speculating. It's like, but now hearing it from somebody that actually knows this man, it makes everything clear. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, mark my words. Tomorrow, he gonna be cussing everybody out on the internet.
Right.
He gonna be cussing everybody out. He probably punching the wall, sliding on the floor, trying his best. He is trying his best.
For you, so you turn around and call the job. That's where the problem got bad at. They didn't get mad.
You're saying that man called up to that man's job for no reason?
Yes, because Joe knew certain co-workers and of course people that worked up there. You know, it's a welding place and you're dealing with heat and things of that nature. Those guys was never judgmental about Rolandis. All they was saying with the supervisor on duty, because you know that Rolandis was about to become a supervisor?
Yo, Joe is diabolical. Like, that's
but he was about to become a supervisor.
You know what? I heard welders make really good money.
They do.
Really good money.
They do. He was going to be a foreman.
Yo, that is diabolical. That is
diabolical. He didn't mind getting called in.
You can't have your phones out with that. You can't have your phones out with stuff.
You can't, exactly.
That is sad, man.
And Joe, to hurt
Joe should be ashamed.
Joe,
if you in here, you should be ashamed of your goddamn self.
Yeah, that right there hurt Rolandis in the beginning. And Rolandis felt like, well, you know, stop. You know how he would get agitated. Stop doing that. But do you know, realize now, from day one, all we ever heard Rolandis say was, yep, bomb.com. That was it. And now Rolandis is speaking more. And while we are manifesting the future, we can't predict it, but we can definitely manifest this. 369, that's the 9 rule. That's the 9 rule. And right now we are at 6. When the 9 rule come out, 333, and manifestation, Rolandis will be redelivered. I'm not going into church or into the Bible. I'm just saying he will be redelivered and he will say, look, this money is not cutting it. I want to go back and do work. I find myself, Joe, I'm in the yard. I'm mowing every day. I'm trying to do something to stay out this house. I can't go to the store by myself without you asking. I want to go back to work. And at that point, it's going to be a break because we already heard Rolandis speak on how he misses his job.
And then Joe tried to make
and those guys that he worked with never judged him. Right. They never judged him. They just didn't like what Joe was doing to them. Joe would see those guys on the street. I'm just going to tell them this part because this is what you had told me a couple months ago. When Joe would see those guys on before Rolandis actually got, of course, terminated, they didn't really say, Rolandis, you're terminated. They just wanted him to make a decision and you want to be a social media star. Of course, this welding job that you always got a nana that's part of the company that own the company, and then you got Big John Willie that own the company. Well, they loved Rolandis. They loved his work. They loved what he do. They could call him in the blink of an eye. He was coming. He didn't care if he had to get up out the bed and come or come to work an hour early to make sure, hey, we get this job done. We get this out today. We get this part welded on and sold to this company. The fact was, Joe was intimidating the workers, the co-workers. Joe was harassing them.
Now, Miss Safari, you right. Now,
I can see that.
Did you see Joe in that bathing suit? in that
The
yellow bathing suit the other day.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Sitting up there looking
I
like
think Joe should have kept that bottom part on
no, let
because
me
when the
tell
bottom
you.
part came off, I literally thought Joe was melting.
Let me tell you, sitting up there looking like damn Big Bird from Sesame Street in that damn yellow
Yeah,
bathing
yeah.
suit. This
But
is the problem.
I want to know what happened. Like, what's real confusing to me, and even I told my cousin, and I know, when you're dealing with a sickness, you lose your hair. But I know for a fact, whatever, down my back. And I have never seen locks, dreads, backtrack. Now, when we first initially met Joe, when Joe hit the internet, Joe had some pretty, I would say neck length, a little bit past the neck length locks. Now, did someone cut them? Because now they're shorter and they're starting to fall off.
Well,
They
I
way
heard
shorter.
if you got the package, if you got the package, your hair fall out. Because
Yeah, and
somebody in the
I
comments
thought of
said
that one.
someone in the comments wanted me to ask you what's wrong with the back of his neck. What's wrong with the back of his neck?
Well, you do know when you have that package, and the reason why I know because my first cousin has the package, but I meant, hey, healthy as a bull, he eat that apple, he do that Dr. Sabi diet. But before my cousin went to the Dr. Sabi diet, and CW, if you on here, I love you. No offense, but he knows as well as I know. I love him to death. That's my first cousin. But when CW had before he like really started taking good care of himself, his skin was discolored in the back of his neck, and when he noticed that, okay, I need to take this serious and take my medicine or either find a remedy. But yes, my cousin ear start to peel off. It started to deteriorate and his skin got darker. Some parts got lighter. Oh yeah. And he started experiencing a lot of bumps. I thought they was hair bumps, but it started from underneath the neck. Cause with the male hormones, it started under their neck and, on their sideburns and in the back of the neck. So with that being said, that's how I was familiar that, okay, I didn't believe it at first that Joe would give, someone so young, disease, but the package, the package, and I felt like, well, Rolandis would have it. Well, when I would pay attention to Rolandis, Rolandis said he don't drink a lot of drinks. He drink water and liquor. So if you drink water your first part of your day and you drink liquor in the end part of the day, you won't get liver splashes. So I figured Rolandis had liver splashes and Netta had the package from the discoloration of the skin and how it would change and, just get, real bad back there on the back of the neck and on the front of Joe's chest. It's real, black and murky and it got, scars and stuff on his chest. So we do know from what we study in science in school that, it starts to discolorate your skin because your white blood cells and your red blood cells. And if it's a nurse on here, correct me if I'm wrong,
Do it
but
make you
it
itch?
starts to deteriorate. Ma'am?
Do it make you itch? Do it make you itch? Because he be scratching. He be scratching like a mug, okay? He be just scratching and stuff. So it doesn't make you itch because he be scratching.
Well, if you're not taking a medication and your skin, okay, you always notice that Joe's skin is oily in his face, but when we look at his skin on his shoulder, it's dry and itchy. So
because on his live, he kept scratching his leg. He kept scratching. Yeah. He'll scratch his leg, like Miss Hillary says. She'll tell you he'll scratch in the middle of his thighs all the time.
Yeah,
just scratching.
And I was just about to say that. I was just